Welcome to the path. Why do we suffer? Why is there suffering? The Book of Light teaches we suffer because we want, because we desire. Not because we want to suffer or we desire to suffer, but because we want things that are transient and perishable. And we become attached to them, including our body. And when that to which we became attached vanishes, we experience suffering, because we think we disappear ourselves. And so the path is there to make us aware that we are not those transient things to which we cling, but that we are a divine spark emanated from the Godhead, uncreated, timeless, eternal, and for now in a transient world. In order to experience divinity and timelessness and our being God or divinity in a transient world, in matter. Spirit dives into matter in order to experience its true nature in the transient material world. And when we look at the past, world wars, political dictatorship, catastrophes, natural catastrophes, and constant rivalry, fights, ideological fights, also of political nature, religious wars and so forth, in all parts of the world. Although some societies live very well, yet there is constant fight and aggression. Now, the main characteristic of our time is confusion. And I always say, if you're not confused, or if nowadays you're not confused, you're not thinking well. You're not thinking right. And we experience constantly that this which we own, and also persons to whom we are attached, whom we love, and so forth, are constantly taken away from us. Nothing is secure, nothing is sure. Everything with which we identified ourselves, body, but also emotion, but also mind, everything is has a transient nature. In meditation, we can experience that those things are not real ourselves, because in soul breath meditation, as revealed in the Book of Light, but also in Divine Message from the True God, we detach ourselves from everything. We even stop thinking, and yet we still remain. This is a mysterious experience, not possible to experience immediately, but maybe after different meditations. And so we are not these transient things, and that's why the Buddha taught anatta, anatman, not the self. He never taught that there is no self. He said, I'll show you what the self is not. There's a great difference. And we are now, today, in a society of drugs and sex, abuse of those things, no ethic, criminal. Young people are criminal. Of course, they have no role models. When they look up to the so-called leaders, they see corruption, mostly corruption, perversion, a distortion of the arts, and a constant hunting to material things. Greed. Michael Douglas said in Wall Street, greed is good. Well, greed causes suffering, because that which you desire through greed will be ripped away from you over and over again. And you suffer from that. So the Book of Light teaches you are not the body, you have a body. I give you an example. See, I had to cough now. I didn't want to cough. My body did. And I yielded to it. I had to. Otherwise, I could not speak to you and talk about these things. So the first lesson to learn is, I have a body. I am not the body. And the illusion that I am the body creates a whole industry of anti-aging and all this silly stuff. And Botox and surgery and so forth. And we are afraid of losing things. Excuse me. Of losing things. Now, the chain of suffering is caused by several things. For instance, by ignorance. Ignorance. And because we know or we don't know cosmic law, we act often against it. But, my dear friends, the law doesn't care if we know it or not, right? If somebody from the jungle wants to cross the street at red light and a car comes and drives them down, is it because of the car or because of the red light? No. He, that man from the jungle who maybe never saw civilization, didn't know it. Now he knows. And this is the law of karma and reincarnation, and we will talk about it. So, ignorance of divine law causes suffering and causes so-called sin. The word sin derives from the Chaldean sin, which is a name given to the moon, which according to the Book of Light is a dying planet. And when the sun shines on it, this dying aspect, this reflects on Earth, on our astral bodies, on our emotions, and so therefore at full moon there is often increase in criminal activity. So we learn through that sin, see? Because when we do something against cosmic law strikes back, and we learn from that. And life after life we abstain from doing that which caused suffering to us. And if not, we repeat it, and we repeat the class, and we suffer again, and more and more and more and more and more. See, the Book of Light is written to end your suffering and to reawaken your true, divine, immortal, timeless, eternal, uncreated nature. That's what you are, divine spark from the Godhead. So now, the ignorance causes then sin and suffering, if you want to use those words, and with all the other resulting conflicts. And this way, divine wisdom forces you to overcome your weaknesses and to become the God-man that you are. And when I say God-man, I could also say God-woman. You see, when we use the word man in the Book of Light, it means manas. That's the true source. And manas means mind, means the being itself. So, when I say God-man, this is the purpose of life, to become a God-man. And we will see what that is. See, the spirit fights constantly against matter. And this is the purpose of the spirit being in material world. So you are a spiritual being that has been many times in material world. The purpose of that is so that you become aware of your spirituality, of your divinity in material world.